Those right?
Yep.
George, do you want to open up?
I can go. Well, Matty, how was your break? Is it good to be back?
Yeah, obviously very refreshing to get the 3 weeks off now, thanks to the AFLPA. It was good break, but I think a lot of the boys are now keen to get stuck into the second half of pre-season now. Had a really good block before Christmas, solid 6 weeks. I think there's a lot of excitement and energy in the group like before Christmas, and I think this break's going to be good for us, and I think everyone seems really excited and keen to get stuck back into it.
How did you look back on your first year here?
Look, it was a bit disappointing for a number of reasons. Obviously, we didn't probably have the success we wanted to as a team, but also individually, a few injuries. And when I first came to the club, I had the 2 shoulders, and then round 1 I had the ankle, and it sort of lingered around all year, which I found a bit challenging. But body's feeling great now. I've done all the pre-season training so far. I'm just excited to sort of make up for last year and having a really good crack this year and just staying sort of injury free and have a real good run at it, really.
Did you need any cleanups post-season?
Yeah, I had the one ankle surgery in the off season, but it was a really good success. It all went well and back into full training now, like I said, and feeling a lot fitter than I was last year, or this time last year, that's for sure. And just as I said before, there's great excitement amongst the group, and we're just excited to get stuck into round 1, really.
Paddy Cripps was a bit of a lone ranger in the midfield in that inside role last year. How keen are you to sort of settle up alongside him and take a bit of the pressure off him? Yeah, well, that was sort of my goal last year, but as I said, it was sort of a bit interrupted, and for myself personally, I was pretty disappointed. Obviously, the player he was able to do it by himself, but I think we've recruited very well as well. I've got my old mate Setters from Giants as well now, and Sammy Walsh, Zach Fisher. There's a few of us boys that have really started to ramp up the training, and as I said before Christmas, we had a really good solid block, and I think there's a lot more confidence in our midfield group to share that load and obviously take a bit off him, because the player he'll keep battling through it, but he can't do that week in, week out for several years. So there's a lot of excitement amongst us younger players wanting to sort of take a bit of that load off him, and I think start of pre-season's been a really good indicator for us that we're going places and as a midfield group and as a team. Is that something you've addressed as a midfield group to try and, the guys away from Paddy to try and take a bit of that load off him?
Not really. Like, I suppose everyone has their individual goals, I suppose, and want to do well. But as a team, sort of deep down, you sort of know, and I suppose media pressure, that Cripps is obviously doing a lot of the load. So there's a bit of expectation from ourselves and as a younger group to sort of help him out a bit more through there, for sure.
How exciting is it to be part of such a talented young midfield with so many of those names you just mentioned?
Yeah, obviously Cripps, Star, Mark Murphy, who's a seasoned veteran. Us young blokes are just really sort of picking their brains and learning a lot from them, really. And as you said, we're quite young, so look, it's just an exciting time. And hopefully we think it will click, probably sooner rather than later. We're just keen to keep training and keep working hard, because we know the future is very bright, but obviously it's not just going to happen. We're putting the work in now, and hopefully we'll see the reward later on in the year.
Can you compare the young talent here to when you first got to the Giants?
I suppose it was a bit harder for me, because when I first got to the Giants, I was first year, and those blokes were a bit older, so they were probably a bit more established and settled. Whereas I feel like right now we're a very young group. It's probably what it was like at the start of the Giants when they first started the club. So the exciting bit of it is we're sort of all growing and learning together. I suppose we're doing the hard stuff together, which I'm sure would have been same at Giants when they first started. Obviously, they were getting flogged every week, and last year wasn't a great year for us. It was very tough, but I'm sure these tough times are going to hold us in good stead to work hard in the future, and when the times change, I suppose, it will make it that much more enjoyable.
Do you think 2019 might be the year Carlton can finally sort of push back up the ladder a bit?
I suppose you're sort of hoping that for every year, but look, for us as a group, it's just about putting in the hard work now, sticking really close, and obviously this year we want to make it a really enjoyable year, and obviously wins helps that, but we just sort of want to give the supporters and members sort of a bit to sort of look forward to in the future and really make them proud, and us as a group sort of get a bit of reward for effort for all the hard work we're doing.
Just on that, what's a pass mark for this side this year then?
Oh, look, we're not going to put a number on it. It's pretty hard to tell, obviously. But look, we're just looking to improve on last year, and as I said, we're not going to put a number on it, but we're working hard to jump up the ladder as quick as we can. And I suppose in the last few years you've seen sides haven't even made the 8 and then the following year playing in the grand final, so shows how close the competition really is, and if you're willing to do the hard work then there's opportunity there to really jump.
Mitch McGovern had the little setback with his back just before Christmas. How's he tracking?
Yeah, he's tracking really well. He's started to progress into a bit of running now, I'm pretty sure, and look, he'll just work into training over the next couple of weeks, but pretty disappointing to see him go down, but I suppose it was a really good glimpse of the future there for him for that mark he took in the last training session, so I think it's really exciting to see and can't wait to get him back into full training.
You mentioned Will Setterfield. How's he settled in around the group, and what do you think he can provide to this playing group?
Well, as I said, we need a bit more of a chop out through the midfield there, so and he's looking really well. He's sort of the same as McGovern. He's back into full training. Oh, not full training, but he's progressing back into training. He's lost a bit of weight since coming to the club as well, which is good, and he's looking pretty fit. And no doubt he's pretty excited to get it back into full training in the next few weeks.
Is that something he identified to try and trim down a bit?
Oh, I think so. Obviously, it was a pretty tough time for him after doing the knee and then changing clubs. It was always going to happen, but he's been super and he's fit in really well, as have all the young blokes who we've traded in or got via the draft. I think Sauce has done really well in recruiting this year, and the injuries that we've had, I think there's a lot more depth there this year for the blokes that have gone down. It's a great opportunity for someone to step in and fill their shoes. There's plenty of opportunity and excitement going around at the minute, which is good.
The club added a couple of guys to the training squad when Sam went down with his knee, Michael Gibbons and Michael Cottrell. What have you seen from those guys? And do you think they're capable? I know there's still a few weeks to go before the club needs to decide, but capable of making that jump?
100%. Look, boys are both really elite runners. Know Gibbons quite well, local boy from back home, so it's exciting to have him around and showing him around a bit. And look, it's an opportunity with injuries. It's very disappointing, but that's the beauty about the game. It's an opportunity for someone to step up, and I reckon those boys, the way they've went about it so far in the first couple of weeks before the Christmas break, credit to them that they put their hand up and have really attacked training and brought plenty of energy. So it's great to see, and hopefully, it'd be great to see if they could get a bit of a reward for effort.
Just on Gibbons, he obviously tracked his career pretty closely and been pretty close to an AFL spot a couple of times. What would it mean for him to be able to get that opportunity and also to assist that midfield? And you spoke about the young guys, and he's probably ready-made to be able to provide that chop out. Yeah, well, as you said, he's probably already made midfielder. You look at his record; he's one of the best in the VFL. I think for him, it's he's done a lot of hard work and probably hasn't had that reward that he's sort of been after. So for him to get that after a number of years of putting his hand up and sort of he really does deserve it, and hopefully for his sake he can. And it'd be just great to be a part of and help him along the way.
Thanks, guys.
Beautiful. Cheers.
Cheers.